No man knows the limits of our universe, but whether it has a limit or not, there are many mysteries and strange things about it. Scientists from all over the world are studying objects that, every day, continues to expand our knowledge of how the universe works. And sometimes, in their studies, they come across some very strange objects that contradict the seemingly known laws of the universe. So the strangest objects in the universe. 1. Dark matter. Dark matter, which is one of the greatest mysteries in modern astrophysics, is hypothetical matter that can't be seen with telescopes. Nevertheless, it is believed that about 85% of the matter in the universe is dark matter. It doesn't emit electromagnetic radiation of sufficient intensity for observation, but it can be observed by gravitational effects. As we know from the laws of gravity, the rotational velocity of galactic objects and galaxy clusters on the distance to the center of mass and the distribution of mass inside. By comparing the known formulas and a paradoxical result was obtained. The masses of galaxies are much larger than we see. Quasar, classified as the so-called active galactic nucleus, is essentially an extremely highly luminous disk of matter surrounding a black hole. Quasars are considered to be the brightest known objects in the cosmos, capable of 100 times brighter than the entire Milky Way. Giant water reservoir, a huge cloud of water vapor, located about 10 billion light-years away, contains about 140 trillion times of water than is contained in all of the Earth's oceans combined. More accurately, it's a shell surrounding the quasar and containing water vapor. The region around the quasar is about 100 light-years long. The environment of the quasar is unique because there's a giant mass of water. Once again, this shows that water is widespread everywhere in the universe, even in very early times. A giant ancient black hole. This discovery was made by an international team of researchers in 2015. A giant ancient black hole that supplied energy to the brightest quasar in the early universe, located at 12.8 billion light-years away. The black hole itself is 12 billion times more massive than 12 billion times the mass of our luminary, and the energy that the quasar takes in is a quadrillion times the solar energy. The quasar itself, only 900 million years after the Big Bang, according to all of the existing models, it's not clear how a black hole could, in such a short period of time, to accumulate such incredible mass. The pulsar is a dense, highly magnetized, rotating neutron star that emits a beam of electromagnetic radiation. In the past, astronomers believed that the radiation that could be observed when it was directed toward Earth was an alien form of communication. In 2020, astronomers in the US and Poland determined that the reason that this type of neutron star acts as radio beacons is because of the interaction between the electrical and magnetic fields near the object's surface. Orphan planets. Orphan planets, also known as orphan planets or quasi-planets, are objects with masses comparable to planetary mass, which have fallen out of their orbits and are traveling aimlessly through space. The closest orphan planet to Earth that has been discovered to date is 7 light-years away. There is little known about another such mysterious object. Neither how it appeared nor what happened to its star. Scientists have found that the planet is very young. It is only 12 million years old. It's a gas giant with a mass 6 times the mass of Jupiter. It's located at a distance of 80 million years, 80 light-years from Earth. Scientists have never before seen a free-flying object in space like this one. The planet can be observed using a telescope. According to experts, the surface temperature On its surface is plus 885 degrees Celsius. Planet of hot ice, officially known as Gliese 436b, is an exoplanet the size of Neptune, which orbits the red dwarf Gliese 436. Despite the fact that the planet's temperature, the planet reaches plus 439 degrees Celsius, its water surface does not evaporate. Instead, the molecules form a kind of, sort of hot, highly compressed ice. Pillars of creation, resembling a picture from a sci-fi landscape, are in fact a photograph taken by the Hubble Space Telescope. Hubble Space Telescope in the Eagle Nebula, located 7,000 light-years from Earth. The pillars, composed of molecular hydrogen and dust, are essentially the seeds of new stars. The objects are called pillars of creation because the gas and dust in them are involved in the process of forming new stars while at the same time collapsing of the clouds by the light of the already formed stars. Shooting star. Everyone is probably aware of the fact that what we call shooting stars are actually meteorites falling through the atmosphere. Nevertheless, shooting stars do in fact exist. For example, Mira is a red giant that, falling through the galaxy fast enough that, for that star to have a tail like the one we see in comets. Astronomers were pretty surprised. The fact is that Mira has been studied for over 400 years, and so far no one had noticed anything peculiar about it, strange things about it. But the explanation is quite simple. Because no one has seen it in the ultraviolet, the tail that was discovered extends a full 13 light-years in space, which is almost 3 times the distance to the nearest star to the Sun, Proxima Centauri. The Diamond Planet, officially known as 55 Canceri, has 7.8 times the mass of Earth. It is believed that this planet contains huge deposits of coal, which may be in the form of diamonds. According to Forbes calculations, this planet could be worth as much as $27 nonillion. That's 27 with 30 zeros. The giant diamond planet was once part of a binary star system until its partner began to devour it. However, the star was unable to take its carbon core with it, and the carbon simply turned into a diamond by the high temperatures and enormous pressure. With a surface temperature 1,648 degrees Celsius, conditions were almost perfect. 1/3 of the planet's mass is pure diamond, while the Earth is covered in water and teeming with oxygen. This planet is composed of graphite, diamond, and a few silicates. Frozen star. While most known stars are very hot, e.g., the surface temperature of the Sun is 5,600 degrees Celsius, a cold star. The frozen star, officially known as Y08550714, is a brown dwarf with a temperature fluctuating between -48 and -13 Celsius. In 2016, astronomers from the University of California, Santa Cruz, using the Gemini Observatory telescope, detected clouds of water and water ice in the star's atmosphere. Scientists at the University of Edinburgh have calculated that the star's atmosphere contains a layer 100 kilometers thick, where the temperature ranges from -73 C to -23 C, and the density of the air ranges between 0.4 and 1.2 MECM3. In this layer, they believe, an organic life form. The largest gamma ray Fermi bubbles. In 2010, astronomers discovered, in data from the Fermi Space Observatory, phenomenon. From the center of the Milky Way into the surrounding space, 2 giant spherical structures were bursting out of the center of the Milky Way, about 50,000 light-years across. These formations can only be seen in the gamma ray range. The nature of the bubbles is still unknown, but Scientists speculate that they may have been formed as a result of the activity of a supermassive black hole at the center of the Milky Way. In the early days of our galaxy, the active core of our galaxy emitted streams of plasma, called jets or relativistic jets. The Fermi bubbles are probably a kind of trace of these flows. The Eridanus supervoid. Most of us probably think of the cosmos as empty. However, with the discovery of quantum physics, we know that even empty space is not really empty, but contains small amounts of gas, energy, and virtual particles that appear and disappear. So it is still quite surprising to find regions of space that are almost completely devoid of all matter. The largest of these voids is found in the constellation Eridanus. It extends over an area of 1 billion light-years of space. Many physicists have come up with some very interesting theories about the origin of this void. One of them is that the void is an imprint of a parallel of a universe that collided with it in the distant past. Another says that the region could be home for a black hole, a gas nebula named so bubble. A beautiful symmetrical nebula floats in the field of the constellation Swan. It was discovered only a few years ago, which is why it's not in many astronomical atlases. What's most striking about the nebula and the appearance of the nebula, it looks like a bubble. So bubble, and that's the nickname by scientists. The Witch's Head Nebula. The Witch's Head Nebula. Its real name is IC 2118. It's in the southern constellation of Eridanus, 1,000 light-years from the Sun.